the strange, you know, not strange, but great octaving of playing your first and your fourth finger in the line of your first and fourth finger. So between your first and your fourth finger, of course it's always in your left hand, but you can do it in the right hand too. But always in the left hand you're playing this octaving. More than one note. You're playing two notes, an interval of an octave, of an 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Now sometimes you can rock it going low, high, low, high, low, high, but you can skip around, jump, 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 just jump like a rabbit. Jump like a rabbit with the same distance in between your first and your fourth finger, an octave. Or your first and your fifth finger. But I always like to say go your first and your fourth finger to wake up the lazy fourth finger. Because once again, we've seen it, shown it before, it's as big as the third finger having fun all the time, as big as the second finger that's pointing at you. And here's that fourth finger and it's not doing anything because the fifth finger is doing all the work. Unless you remember to angle your hand like a duck. I don't have a duck here, but you angle it like this between 1 and 4, octaving. And by doing that, you get a cool feel on the keyboard. All letters, all sharps. 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 4. Left hand bass. Playing that by playing an octave is really cool. Octave, 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 hopping around, playing next note, playing city chromatically, playing street, hopping, playing notes in between. Wow, that is all the cool things that you can do with the bass left hand. Only that. That's the thing. You don't have all these mixes of various things to learn in your left hand. You're playing octaves. That's what you're doing in your left hand. Octave, 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 broken octave, broken octave, broken octave, broken octave, but you're playing octaves. In the right hand is where you have all the variances, you have all the differences, you have all the craziness. In the right hand, you're playing also more than 2 notes a lot of times. You're playing 3 notes, you're playing 4 notes, you're playing 5 notes. Why? Because you're the guitar player. And what does a guitar player do a lot? Not always, but not all the time, but a lot. It plays leads, gong. No, it plays chords. And what are chords? 3 or 4 or 5. Doesn't that make sense? So I'm saying you're going to play 3 notes, you're going to play 4 notes, you're going to play 5 notes in your right hand. Wouldn't that also mean that, oh, my right hand is going to be my guitar part? Because it's playing 3 or 4 or 5. Solidly broken, chunky, broken, interval broken, whatever, it's going to play a lot of different things. It's going to play single notes. It's going to play lead lines because it's going to play those kind of things. Here's the point. I would prefer showing you, of course, the left hand has these octaves. Hopping like a rabbit in a complete position, hopping like a rabbit in a complete position, and hopping back and forth and hopping back and forth, keeping and locking in that position. Hopping, 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 hopping all around. Doing that because I am practicing octaves. Whether it's fast, or whether it is slow, or whether it's the same one. Why? Because it is the beat, it is the bottom, it is the bass, it is the left-hand bass player which is making the beat for the guitar player in the right hand. It frees the guitar player to play anything it wants at any tempo, at any feeling or whatever, if the left hand is beating correctly in tempo, and that's what's hard. That's 50% of it. That's 50% of it is the time of the left hand. Well, that means that let's not have it hassled down by 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 notes. No, let's just let it do its own bass octaving in time, though, with the correctness of time and beats and changing of chords, because it's the beginning of a chord, it's the beginning of a bass, it's the beginning bottom, it's the beat, it is all these beats. Beginning, beat, a bottom, bass. Yes. Cool stuff. Hopping like a rabbit in the left hand. that bass hand right here with that octave, let's say like 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. I mean, of course you can use 1 to 5. But I'm saying force yourself to use 1 to 4. Feel what it feels like to go up on the sharp notes with 1 to 4. Just feel what that feels like. Okay, so now with this, I always have this octave thing going in the left hand bass note. Then in the right hand, okay, let's talk about those chords. You don't have to play the same letter in your thumb that you're in your right hand that you're playing in your thumb in your left. You can move all over it. Yes, you can stay on it. You can stay on the same letter if you want to, but if you don't want to, you can just hold down any octave using your first and fourth finger. Once again, looking at the line, looking this way, the opposite way in your left hand, with your thumb then going negative down to the 8, an eighth lower with your fourth finger. Yes, my second finger is still there, but it's not being used. Why? Because it's the bass part. Because the bass part, I insist in the beginning, first couple years of learning keyboard, that you only play a single note or the same note repeated. Yes, you might rock it back and forth, and you might have to play it many times over and over again, but no other note in between. No, the reason is because that's all the guitar part in the right. All those multi-notes, I want the right hand to be concentrated on that. I want the left hand to be concentrated on just the letter. Nothing note in between. Just the letter, octave or singles, and the beat. The beat, the time. That is the weirdest. All right, well, anyway, so the beat, that's what I mean is the left hand. Doing not only the bass, which is the bottom of the chord, but it's playing the beat. That's why it has the responsibility of only playing a single note or an octave. That's it. All the fanciness, all the 3 note, 4 note, 5 note, 6 note, 7 note, 8 note combinations are in the right guitar part, not in the left. 50% of it. That's 50% of it is the time. So even though my second finger does fall, that means that let's not have it hassled down by 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 notes. No, let's just let it do its own bass octaving in time, though, with the correctness of time and beats and changing of chords, because it's the beginning of a chord, it's the beginning of a bass. It's the beginning, bottom, it's the beat, it is all these beats. Beginning, beat, a bottom, bass. Yes. Cool stuff. Hopping like a rabbit in the left hand. That bass hand right here with that octave, let's say like 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. I mean, of course you can use 1 to 5. But I'm saying force yourself to use 1 to 4. Feel what it feels like to go up on the sharp notes with 1 to 4. Just feel what that feels like.